Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. About to get into the second match of this best of 3 series between the Chiefs and Sin. And Sin did not look good in game 1.
Yeah. I don't necessarily agree. I think that what happened is they were put so far behind early that like you couldn't look good in game 1. That was, if that's a solo queue game, that's an FF15. Just go next. As we have a look at the Mo. I want to comment on this. I grow a mustache, as does Hingers. Hingers will back me up on this because I think we've talked about it before. When your Mo starts going onto your top lip, it is infuriating. I don't know how he keeps it that length. You should get scissors or, you know, electric razor and shave it off your top lip. You can still keep the fullness to your Mo. But as soon as it starts getting into lip territory, just the most frustrating thing in the world. People probably don't care about this.
That's why I just, you know, make sure mine doesn't go too long.
Yeah, I mean, you also can't go up very long, Singapore boy.
We have to pick some bands here. No mustache for Ryan, but the other mid laner for Sin. But it's going to be Elise, Nara, and Galio banned out by Sin, with Zach, Rakan, and Jace banned out by the Chiefs.
Yeah, so obviously they're worried about a first pick Rakan, but they're not really bothered by the Thresh. Looks like Sin aren't also going to pick the Thresh.
No, they pick up Maokai, which seems to be the high priority pick in the current meta.
It certainly is. I think Maokai has certainly arrived as the best jungler and a very good top laner. What it does is it forces people's off turret. It has one of the best engage tools if you're there early enough with the ultimate. And then point-click stun on W is absolutely busted fish. It is like a 600 range point-click stun. You can CC it for about 2 seconds of CC with your Q.
There's not many champions that can do it. I think Maokai, Pantheon are the first two to come to mind.
But Pantheon's is pretty short range, right? True. Cho'Gath is the other best jungler. The other reason that he is so good is he clears incredibly healthy with the E, does percentage damage, has a big true damage nuke, but most importantly out of everything, has a silence. An AoE 2-second silence, a legacy ability from the game, which just should not exist. The Kali Star has come out.
Kalista, Alistar picked up. I like Cho'Gath in jungle as well because it's the position which can grant you the most health thanks to how Cinderhulk works with Warmogs.
Yeah. That is a bold call.
Ooh,
Quid,
Kog'Maw
I
Thresh?
understand completely playing it against Trundle's Eye. You outrange them, they're not going to be able to get on top of you. Playing Kog'Maw into a Kalista is, I think that's dangerous, Fish. I don't know, you're the 80 carry, man.
I actually like this lane from Chiefs.
Do you?
Kog'Maw is surprisingly a surprisingly high amount of kill threat.
Yeah, no, he definitely does. He does a lot of damage. I mean, when you have no escape abilities, yes, all of your other abilities will do damage.
Can you play Alistar out of a headbutt?
Yeah, I assume so.
Oof. Let's see if Ejim's got the quick figures for that one.
I think what you would do, right? I think he's going to play Lantern Thresh. I think he's just going to trust that he's not going to get one shot, and he's going to sit a little bit to the side and off the wave, and he's going to just Lantern Raze out of sticky situations. He's saying that Raze looked very good on the Kog'Maw.
He did. You won't have the level 3 assistance from a Cho'Gath, you'd have to think. Maokai is the one that provides that extra utility in the bottom lane.
Well, Carbon also pointed out that it's an impossible route to take on blue side. So unless they invade onto the Raptors red and Krugs of the Sid Gaming lineup, not going to have the same jungle path available.
But the first few bans from the Chiefs are going to be Jax and Camille, so denying a lot of the split push threats, the high split push threats.
Interesting that the area of the Protect the 80 carry comp that Sin got rid of is Galio. Galio is kind of like the new Lulu or Karma mid around these Protect the 80 carry comps because of the ultimate and the ability to land and immediately taunt the surrounding area. I think that he is certainly one of the best at it. And I want to see what Swiffer plays now with Protect the 80 carry comp, whether he has something like a Karma in his back pocket.
We have a Syndra as well as Cassidy banned out to a Swiffer. Jarvan is still picked up.
Cassiopeia is available. Chiefs banned at game 1. I was expecting the ban of Cassiopeia to come out, especially if he wants to play this pickup in the Taliyah.
Yeah, Taliyah picked up Myaroma, a champion that gets banned out against him time and time again, and Dokla will pick up Renekton top.
This is the comp that we expected out of Sin. Aggressive bottom lane, and a mid laner that can affect side waves, and then just 2 bricks for Juves and Dokla. So I think this game will be much more heavily Sin favored. I expect to see the Cassiopeia. Very good Protect the 80 carry comp champion. surprisingly so, Fish. Miasma stops people being able to get on top of your AD carry. Then when they do flash towards you, the big scream into all of the raw damage that comes out.
Yep.
Actually very good at protecting it.
She's
Not
always
very tanky, though, on the Chiefs lineup.
She's always been an anti-initiation champion, but for the Chiefs now they've got multiple threats, which always comes into play with a Protector Kog'Maw comp. If you dive onto Raze, suddenly Swift is killing everybody.
Yeah, exactly right. You do have good consistent damage, though. This isn't a this isn't a press R comp coming out of like Sin, so it's not like Orianna ball has to hit both Swiffer and Raze, otherwise they don't win the team fight. Both Taliyah and Kalista have fantastic ramp-up damage as the team fight goes on.
A big front line of Renekton, Maokai, Morzalsa that packs a punch.
It's not the biggest front line, though. I mean, I understand why you say it's a big front line, but, you know, Maokai Renekton versus Sejuani Cho'Gath, which is what they had last game, one of those front lines is much bigger than the other one. So I would say this is more of a kill threat 2v2, point-and-click stun on Renekton, as well as CC from Juves, means that if the Jarvan is ever overextended, they should be able to capitalize on that and maybe look for a kill. But it's certainly not like the tankiest lineup that you can get right now.
Jarvan's also very weak early on before he can pick up his Tiamat. Does not like his lane into Renekton. And on top of that, Spooks is on Cho'Gath, not the best ganking jungler.
Yeah, he's not. If he can get into melee range, he's actually very good. Getting into melee range on Cho'Gath is a problem.
Flash on them.
I was getting there, Fish. Come on, give me some time. Red buff, you know, Vorpal Spikes. He does all right, but he's certainly no Maokai.
No, he is not. We'll have to see how this game goes for both sides.
He's also not as bad as Skarner, though.
What's wrong with Skarner? Skarner's actually been played, I think, internationally once.
Yeah, yes. Swiggity squooty.
You know, Righteous Glory changes, makes him nice.
Yep.
I love Skarner. He's fun champion.
I also like the Pokemon of Summoner's Rift as well, but unfortunately hasn't been picked up in the Opal yet.
Yeah, old mate Captain Flowers from North America. He
Big
loves
Skarner.
Skarner. He's a big Skarner fan. But let's check in with Sarian, who's standing by with Coach Jish.
Thanks, guys. I'm here with Bensel from Sin. Spawn and Fish had conflicting thoughts on how the bot lane would go with Kog'Maw going into Kalista, but what are your thoughts on it?
I think Kog'Maw probably has an advantage pre-6, but at level 6 against Fate's Call, Kog'Maw can really struggle, so I think that's where our advantage is.
So what does Sin have to do in this game to clean it up and pick the series up?
I think game 1, we kind of played a fairly stale game, which is not, really associated with our play style, so I think this game it looks a little bit more volatile around the map in pretty much every lane, so that should probably play to our strengths.
Well, best of luck and thanks for talking to us, Bensel.
Thanks.
I agree with him. I completely agree with him. I think it was an uncharacteristic draft in Game 1 out of Bensel, and this game has volatility written all over it. If the damage threats on either side, either Ryoma or FBI, or Raisin and Swiffer, fall behind, this game will be very quickly over. But in saying that, I agree that, both of them have pretty okay matchups. Although I would say bottom is slightly FBI Rogue favored, especially when it gets to 6, as you mentioned. I would say mid lane is Swiffer favored for at least the first portion of the game.
You have to be careful very on Swiffer because Taliyah does have consistent damage to trade against the level 1 Fangs.
But
yeah, you're standing on work ground there, so you can't throw it out.
It's not even that fair. It's just as soon as you move sideways and she gets that little bit of movement speed off the Q. Look where he's sitting. That is XP zoned. So he will hit level 2 1 minion after Swiffer because of an XP zone.
Yeah, he is
1.
He is pushing in though, Swiffer has to be careful. But Ryoma playing the lane safe. Cassiopeia is very strong 1 and 2. 3 is where Taliyah can really start to pull the lane back almost.
6 is when the lane goes horribly wrong. Unfortunately, you have to focus one direction against Cassio. She can just flash on your head and kill you. And
does Taliyah face forward? Very curious if Taliyah faces forward when she's throwing rocks, because that would...
She does, 100%. That's why it's a counter. What do you think I've been talking about this whole time?
I don't know.
She doesn't spin in circles. She 100% faces forward, so you are guaranteed a period of time in which she is going to be facing your ultimate.
Swiffer still trying to abuse this lane. It'll be a very volatile matchup. Roma has to play it safe. Spooks is going for an invade here. We'll find Juves. He does get the smite onto red buff. So secures that objective
Wonder
for
if
himself.
he feels that mid lane is pushed in enough that he can now take these Raptors, given the fact that Juves has no smite available. Because obviously there are 2 ends to this. He's grabbed a lot of the Raptors there, Fish, and he'll be able to smite this one away if he wants.
Yeah, he's fine for big one. Juves tries to stick around. He can't get anything out of it. So that's a bit unfortunate for him. He's going to make his way down towards the bottom side of the map. Let's see what he can get from it. But for now, mid lane still looking rather favored for Swiffer, but Ryouma just making sure he stays as far away from the snake as possible.
Yeah, exactly right. Ryoma is making him play against the creeps a little bit. Is out of mana, so will take a quick shot. Swiffer, be interested to see if he can shove this one in. There you go. That was the attempted play.
Didn't work, but they get a good chunk of damage onto Rogue.
Yeah, FBI does stay full health, however. Raze obviously has 4 potions, so it doesn't really matter if he takes a little bit of damage. See that Aegim postures very aggressively forward, and they kind of read that.
Must be coming in. Hingers is the hottest O's mid laner, clearly.
I don't even know if he plays mid, does he? Doesn't he play AD carry?
He's an AD carry, mate.
Yeah.
Unlucky Hingers. He could be hot if you played mid lane.
Who are your thoughts on the hottest mid laner?
Ooh. That's a tough one. It was mid beast for a long time, but he's not in the league anymore.
I think it has always been Richard Su. I think
big Fantix fan.
Yeah, Fantix is the most attractive post mid laner.
I thought.
Shout out to Fantix.
I thought Swiffer without the beard or without the mustache again would be much better.
The Krug Goblin in Swiper is actually very mad at Juves for trying to steal the Krugs. And you can see that he wants to continually chase him out here. Needs to be a little bit careful of the Renekton. Renekton is up 26 to 30. 26 to 33 CS.
You got 3 of them, but still the big one falls to Juves. Counter jungling job done. Those will reset and respawn.
Yep.
Swiper has a big wave to catch on the weak top side, so he's
In
doing just
saying
fine
that,
in this lane.
Juves is about to fall very far behind Spooks again.
Meanwhile, there's a fight bottom lane. Raze has been forced to flash and heal away. They get some good trades onto Aegim. That's a flash for FBI. Gets first blood. Heal will keep him alive as well, but Aegim jumps forward for the auto attack to get that return kill.
Yeah, but still, Aegim gets a kill versus the Kalista getting the kill. And I know who I would much rather have a kill on at this stage of the game. Aegim will get quicker Moby Boots and Sightstone. Rogue now going to try and hold this off Turret Fish, and he's done it. The boy has absolutely done it. That is a freeze.
Yeah, this is where you just start smacking the bell. And that's a good job from Rogue. It was not going to be great for FBI if that wasn't frozen. But now he gets the kill as well as the ability to come back into lane and pick up a lot of that missing CS.
And funnily enough, it doesn't actually look like he's up that much gold.
No, it's recurve bow against recurve bow.
Yeah, exactly right. One's got a longsword, one's got a boot. No, they've both got
Doran's blade.
Doran's. Monkey.
We'll have to keep check and see how that lane goes. No summoner spells for anyone down there now.
Oh, actually, Spooks is behind Juves, and he's being caught out now.
Yep, we'll get knocked up. No stun coming out from the Alistar as Aegim comes there to save him.
And both of the junglers actually very low on experience, Fish.
Yeah.
Both of them equal with their duo lanes, which you want to be ahead of them at the start of the game, at least.
I mean, Juves is on track. He's a level up of Rogue. FBI did get a little bit extra experience from the kill. Spook's definitely fallen behind.
His second buff respawn is coming out. And
Jarvan's making his way mid, though, standing on top of a ward. So this is a botched gank. Just allows Swiffer to continue to zone Ryouma slightly. Very patient player, Ryouma.
And gold completely even at 7 minutes, but you would have to say this is a much better game coming out of the Sim Gaming lineup.
Definitely. Looking a lot stronger early. Benzel has drafted his team much better this game.
Level 6 is about to be achieved in a bottom lane that has no summoner spells. That's got to be a little bit of a worry for the Chiefs.
I wonder if the call from Benzel there was to leave Thresh open so they can force the Lulu to pick away from Aegim. Put him on an aggressive champion and they protect the AD carry comp. I mean, Thresh still does fine protecting carries, but he's not a Lulu by any stretch of the imagination.
Doesn't give the damage amplification that is going to come out. You can see that they've both rushed Moby Boots in a lane that we expected to be, you know, a little bit more about the Fate's call. Moby Boots rush out of both supports is an interesting conundrum, Fish. They're also going to invade bottom side very heavily now. Big wave crashing. Kalista Alistar combo is online, and Taliyah is here with the wall. They have to run.
And they are. No flash available for Raze. They take the Dark Passage over.
Oh.
Raze actually gets out of safety, but Aegim now in a lot of trouble. Maokai's coming through. They will get another kill in the bottom lane.
Yeah, and that's a big wave denied, and this is the danger of playing Kog'Maw. Rogue actually saved Raze there. He should have died as well. He headbutted him mid-lantern journey. Whereas if he had to just let it complete, Juves would have been able to get on top of him, definitely.
Yep.
But that's all right. 1 kill and first turret going down is going to mean about a 1,500 gold lead for Sin at this early stage of the game.
Yeah, very, very curious play from the Chiefs. Like, they knew that was coming in the bottom lane. Spooks was top side of the map. No teleport for Swiper. And Swiffer was just hard pushing mid lane. Now he's in trouble. Maokai's going to summon the ultimate, and Dokler comes down. Swiffer's got nowhere to run. Pops his ultimate, but that's all she wrote.
Yeah,
Sin get an early lead.
This is a big difference between Game 1 and Game 2, Fish. The Chiefs look absolutely rattled this early into the game. Swiffer falling down, even though he had a 20 CS lead. Uncharacteristic mistake. Put himself on a part of the lane that he definitely should not have been. And Spooks has been absent this game. He had 3 assists pretty much at this stage last game, but this game, not the case.
Chiefs comes back, it's like, that's mine after camp, thank you. Yeah, very, very different game between Game 1 and 2. Chiefs, however, are only just under 1,000
Chiefs
gold
are going
behind.
for their cheeky play here, where they try and gank people between turrets. In fact, they have spotted out the fact that Rogue saw them, so they are not going to do it. They do have TP available right now. Taliyah doesn't have wall yet, but Dokler can still TP in from behind the duo lane.
Yep.
Want to take them out.
Ejim's a level behind, and so is Raze. 6 and 5 to 6 and 7.
Yep.
2 kills on the Kalista, looking strong, but not a big item spike yet, just the boots 2.
Yeah, and that's because they left the turret up, maybe looking to kill them one more time before this laning phase is over, Fish. But you can see that is leading to a little bit of defensive play coming out of the Chiefs members.
Yep.
Playing very far back. And the fact that Taliyah has blue buff and Swiffer does not is a little bit worrisome, although Swiffer with double mana items is not going to feel it all that much as he would on other champions.
Can the Chiefs afford to fall behind in this team comp?
Yeah, I think it's like a 1,000 gold lead, sure. If they get behind like 3,000 or 4,000 gold, I would start being very worried, actually. They're much better going forward than they are going backwards after the initial play from Juves. I mean, kind of what you want to happen is Juves or Dokler go a little bit too early, and then you're able to turn a lot of the damage around.
They're making the play again, bottom side. They're pinging out the turret.
Yeah,
Grimer's
no
shoving
ward,
up.
though.
This time, though, Spooks is there, so Chiefs are ready for this dive.
Yeah, top lane has already hit the turret as well, so they can TP in.
There's the Maokai ultimate. Teleports are coming in for both top laners. Ejim's going to flash away first. Ryoma now builds a wall, but it's nowhere close. That turret is going to fall. Ejim gets played back. Dude, Chiefs stand and
can't
fight.
get in.
He can't get into the fight. Good wall built. Ejim's the first one to fall. Chiefs still want to go for the fight, but Ray's already being locked down. He's moving forward. There's a big crocodile in him, but look at Swiffer trying to get to the back line. Will flash out. Still going to die here. Dokler goes huge. Silenced by Spooks. Eventually falls. Great damage coming out from the Chiefs front lane. They trade 2 for 2, but they lose their turret.
2 for 2, but it is an okay trade. I thought that was going to be much worse for the Chiefs because, as you mentioned, Fish, the setup from Sin was so good. Swiper was late to that play. Dokler was able to get in there. But at the same time, they lose the minimum. The turret was going to fall anyway, and they trade evenly. Still a great proactive play out of Sin. And they've now maybe caught out Raze here. I mean, this is a bold call going for this. So let's have a look at it. Dokler's already coming in. Look how quickly he completes teleport. He is there before Jarvan has even started channeling. He didn't want it to be a cancel. And you can see that he's able to fly into the backline, take down Ejim. Swiper comes and has a big impact. And Swiffer has to flash away. I think he probably could have taken down FBI there. Don't know why he really chose to go backwards instead of forwards, Fish. A little bit strange out of the mid laner of the Chiefs.
You'd have to think as well, if Juice channeled his ultimate straight towards that turret, that team fight would have been one-sided
Then
too.
they would have walked off the turret as well. So I think Juves' ult was in the correct area. And they've also got a massive tempo advantage. This turret might even fall before they can get their Fish.
And Spooks is able to pick up the Ocean Dragon as well during that time of the replay. Chiefs will move top lane and stop this turret from
But
falling.
that's what cost them the tempo. I mean, Ocean Dragon for all of the top lane turret health, I don't know if that's worthwhile. In fact, I do know it's not worthwhile.
But the Kog'Maw is still well and truly in this game. Just small components behind the Kalista. FBI will hit the spikes first, but you'd have to think Raze will be quick behind.
Yeah, and also the fact that, you know, FBI will not really ever do as much damage as what Kog'Maw will. As soon as that first item is accomplished, I think that... Ooh, smite battle.
Spooks clearly wins it.
I think Juves thought he had ultimate and was going to eat it. But they can make the same play here again. Taliyah Wall nearly back off cooldown. Fish. She's
They're already
walking
going
up.
top.
And that means you have to leave. This pick for Ryoma is absolutely monstrous.
And there's a reason why it's banned out against him. He's strong in the lane. Cassiope is meant to do well into it. He's holding just fine, and his roams are fantastic. His late game, Talia as well. Whew. It's one-shot quite a few people with the champion.
Certainly has. And now Swiffer really wants his blue buff. So has actually let a creep wave die with Dokla there.
They've got a flank though. Swiper's getting right behind Dokla and Ryoma. Let's see if they go for it. They pull in Ejim, locking down Dokla first. He only gets a slice, but Flash is available. So they move towards Rift Herald. Big plays coming out from Sin in this match.
Yeah, I mean, this is much better League of Legends from Sin. They're going to give the Herald over to Juves, both of them level 7 and 8, so it doesn't really matter trinket-wise. 2,600 gold plus a free turret. You would have to think that they're going to use mid at some point. And no response yet to come out of the Chiefs Esports Club whatsoever.
I'd like to see where the gold is currently being held between the two teams though, because it is a 3,000 gold lead. Top lane's even, jungle is dead even as well. It's only mid lane and 80 carry that separate them. 4,700 in the mid for the Chiefs, 5,600, so 900 difference there. Bottom lane's a massive one though.
So you have to think that that was a huge shot for FBI then, because we saw that they pretty much had the same items, but now I'm expecting him to be a completed Blade of the Ruined King plus recurve though, most likely. Over the top. So we'll see whether his items do come out to be much more superior.
For now though, it's not a huge stretch yet. As we mentioned, 3,000 to 4,000 gold is where it starts to get a little bit out of control for team fights.
Yeah.
But Rift Herald in Sin's back pocket means they can easily stretch that to 3,000 to 4,000 gold. A good push.
Exactly right. That's what we have to wait for. I mean, this week, on the War Room Fish, as you like to point out, I'm going to get there before you do. We saw Sin's massive play in week 4 come out with Rift Herald, 3 turrets, 2 kills. And as you can see, it is the completed Blade of the Ruined King.
Yep.
And it doesn't have the recurve, but has double dagger. And they want to make the play around mid lane. They're shoving the wave up aggressively. Yep. They're trying to get wards into the Raptor pit. And it's the exact same play they went for last time. We'll see whether they're able to make it work again.
Got the ultimate early.
Oh, they cancelled the Herald.
Does it cancel
That is a fumble out of Juves.
I didn't know you could cancel Herald.
Yep. NECC will cancel Herald. And that could be the tempo swing that the Chiefs were waiting for. But you can see Raze had absolutely no plans to come save this mid lane turret. He is stuck in that lane. Swiper right now is a little bit of a goblin.
They're forcing. They get on top of Swiffer. He's punted back in towards the team. Locked down before he can use his ultimate. Great play by Sin. That forces Spooks to flash away as well.
Yep, so they still go for the play. They still make it work due to the fact that Raze was still sticking top lane. But it's just going to be one turret. You have to think if Rift Herald was out now, they would be looking for a second. They're still going to approach Fish. A little bit dangerous.
Sin punishing Chiefs very heavy for this team composition. And now they are 4,000 gold up, even without that Rift Herald play. Meanwhile, they're going for Swiper bottom lane, trying to extend this lead. Tanking the turret, he pops the Cataclysm, it doesn't matter. Dies midair.
Jumped through some rocks, unfortunately, for Big Swips. He's having a pretty poor game right now. You can see the rotation comes out of Juves as well. They're going to look to go aggressive.
Yeah, there's no flash for Spooks. He burns at mid lane. That's another disaster for the Chiefs. And Sin storming onto the Rift in game 2.
They just have all the tempo advantage. That's all it's coming down to right now, Fish, is that Sin have every single piece of tempo advantage due to Talia, due to the fact that they're the ones knocking on the turret's doors. They're able to cheat through jungle. They're getting there first, and the Chiefs members not really respecting it and falling down. Sin look fantastic this game.
They certainly do. Really taking it to the Chiefs, and Chiefs, they needed a 2-0 here in order to make it easier for them to catch up to the Direwolves and the likes of Legacy.
I think it puts them on equal points with the Direwolves if they're able to pick up a 2-0, if memory serves. Of course, they're still behind head-to-head, and that's not going to change until they meet again in the final week of the OPL. However, game's still not over. Talia, massive at the moment. FBI also very big. They're the 2 members that you want to be carrying on this Sin Gaming lineup, but Cassio will eventually outscale Talia, as well as the fact that Kog'Maw late game is terrifying.
How do they find their way back into this match, though?
I think you don't. I think you just hope the game goes long enough that the match finds you.
So it's based on a Sin unforced error?
No, I don't think it has to be an unforced error. I mean, the map is shrinking. They're going to be able to farm up. The game doesn't look like it's going to end in the next 10 minutes, which means Ray's going to be on 2 items. If he gets towards 3, I think that he's going to be strong enough to continue the team fight, even if that means FBI's on 4 at that stage.
Well, a key component of Chiefs winning that last match was heavily targeting FBI in the laning phase, one of the hyper carries for the team. Ryoma did not look very comfortable in that mid lane matchup, but now he's on the most signature champion for him, Tillia.
Yeah, but in saying that, Swift is also known for his Cassiopeia at the moment. Tommy's just won out by visiting the side lanes, and I think that that is the right thing to do in this matchup.
Oh, they're targeting Swiper.
They're going to look to dive Swiper one more time, as you said, Fish. Maokai ulti, Taliyah ulti, everything is available. The Chiefs are rotating, however, just not quick enough, it doesn't look.
Ryoma takes blue buff away from the Chiefs eventually, and this turret's going to fall. Swiper wants to defend, but he just can't.
Ooh, that narrowly missed FBI. They go on Ryoma instead. He flashed into a wall.
He's stuck inside the Cataclysm, but no one from the Chiefs is there to deal damage to him. Instead, Swiffer does get locked down, takes a big Dark Passage back to safety. Sinner popped quite a few ultimates, but they're still nice and healthy.
Yeah, and Ryoma should have died there. Egypt missed the hook onto him, and unfortunately cost them a kill. And they're able to extend this gold lead even further. 6,000 gold now, Fish. Potentially the Chiefs can go for a Baron Rush, however.
Ooh. They tried to go for a Flanders. Whoa! Swiffer being very aggressive there. Lands the poison, gets the Twin Fangs, but Ryoma just outplays him.
Doesn't heal. I mean, he had heal available. Could have used it for the movement speed at the start before the wounds kicked in, and that was the Baron play that the Chiefs wanted. They wanted to be able to pick up Ryoma, and then they wanted to be able to transition it into a Kog'Maw Cho'Gath Baron play. Unfortunately, that does not happen, Fish.
No.
And now they are massively behind.
Uncharacteristic out of Swiffer there. Way too aggressive. And did not pay off. Now
I mean, Egypt's also missed a couple of hooks, which is very uncharacteristic, and it might actually just be the Baron start for the Sin Gaming lineup.
It is going to be Baron size. Swiper does have teleport if he wants to join the fight.
Think this is a good Baron.
Let's see if it pays off for them. No Swiffer, that's a lot of the damage for Chiefs taken away. They could just try and turn the fight. Ryoma does have ultimate, can separate the Chiefs. They jump on straight onto Spooks. They do have a Dark Passage there. Can he get into it? He can't. Now they just turn towards Baron. No smite for the Chiefs. That's an easy Baron pickup by Sin.
Yeah, it certainly is. We're going to see whether Raze can do the miracle and steal it with... Oh!
Very close, but smite comes out of Juice and it's picked up by Sin.
I actually thought that they had nearly taken it. But Juice on the trigger finger, of course, outsmarted Levi. Not going to be fooled by Raze. And the Chiefs are now 10,000 gold behind.
Yeah.
And this is as one-sided as Game 1 was. They've got 3 consolation kills and not much else, Fish. The Chiefs Esports Club are in big, big trouble, and Sin Gaming are playing how we expected them to play coming into this.
Yep, and there's no one person on the Chiefs that's doing well, but as a team at the moment, collectively not doing the right thing. Nobody was able to react to the very early dives from Sin. And huge misplays from Raze, Swiffer, even Spooks and Swiper getting caught out.
Yeah, and I think that you're right. This threat pick was a little bit of a trap. It didn't win lane the way that they wanted it to. Didn't synergize as well with the Kog'Maw either. As you pointed it out, it would not. And now with Baron buff and a 1-3-1 comp, I don't know how Chiefs now defend turret. Dokler is ahead of Swiper, who's been relegated to 2 Jarvan games. Game 1 he looked good. Game 2 has not looked good for Big Swifts. And Swiffer is getting destroyed by Ryoma this game. 5-0-4, 10-stack Dark Seal versus Cassiopeia.
Bentel has read this draft very well and sets Sin up for success in game number 2.
Oh, hook comes out.
Gets it onto Ryoma. Will pull Swiffer in, looking to lock it down with the grounded. Big knockup from Spooks as well. They get a kill onto Ryoma, get the shutdown goal onto Swiffer, but Sin are marching towards top lane enough.
I mean, that top lane was dead. So that's a good play from Egypt. They're going to be able to pick up a massive shutdown, get 4 of the Dark Seal stacks off Ryoma as well, because they needed a shutdown somewhere, Fish. They're looking for a little bit of a cheeky brush setup. Instead, the Chiefs just want to catch out Dokler in the mid lane.
Can he get it? Nope, Dice is away. He's fine. And they all go back to base now. Sin. Chiefs are going to try and march towards mid lane and pick up a cheeky turret for themselves.
Yeah.
And look, collapse already coming in from the top laners.
They are coming down, but I don't know whether you want to fight a 4v5. I think that you just admit that that was a bad call. 10 seconds until Ryoma is back, of course, will have the wall, but yeah, I think that's the right call. I think that you just give up the turret. You're still 8,000 gold up. It's not like the Chiefs got all that much back into this game. Swiffer is still 3,000 gold behind Ryoma, even with the shutdown.
Yeah, Raze is 3,000 gold behind as well.
Yeah, and Razor's actually caught out in the jungle.
Thanks to Legion, can get back, but now the Sinner turret's dead.
Yep.
Spooks is caught meandering in the jungle.
I mean, they can't defend. They don't have enough magic damage from a safe distance to defend.
I was half expecting Juice to go into the fountain there.
Yeah, had to stop himself at the last second, Fish.
Meanwhile, Ultimate comes out from the Maokai, locks down Spooks, will stop the rest of the Chiefs, but they're trying to force a fight here. Dokla's taking a lot of damage from this turret.
That was too much damage taken from Dokla. I think they would be a little bit upset with that was the way it went. Generally, when you send out the Maokai Ultimate, you can just take pot shots at the champion that stays, and that should have been Spooks. He is going towards the Warmog's armor still. See whether he actually gets tanky enough in this game to withstand the damage coming out, because it's 9,000 goldfish.
I mean, they are.
And it feels like one more team fight from Sin will win them the game.
It will. So just to play this one cautiously. But they're definitely in the driver's seat in this match.
One thing that we should watch for from Ryoma is his wall usage as this game progresses. It's really easy to make the plays of the Taliyah wall early on when you can wall into the middle of the lane. It's a little bit harder to use them on base turrets. However, Ryoma does it very well. He knows when he should take his wall, he knows when he should jump off the wall very, very early and just use it to split up the team and zone them away. So, interested to see that one. You can see that FBI is that full item ahead of Raze that we predicted he would be after the early game that he had.
More than just that as well. Raze can't even complete his Hurricane at the moment.
Well, instead just goes back and buys all the daggers in the shop. I'll have 4 daggers, please.
It's not looking good for the Chiefs. They've got to put up a last stand somewhere. And even after that, they still won't be back in this game. So Sin looking like they're going to equalize this best of 3 series 1-1, take us to game 3, and both games will be one-sided affairs.
Yeah, this is a 2-Baron game, as Carbon would point out. 1 Baron to stabilize the game, 1 Baron to win the game, maybe even a 3-Baron game. You know, get you back to 50 with the second Baron. Good news for the Chiefs is if they do win a team fight and they get something like a Baron off it, there are a lot of turrets standing, so there is gold to make up. From Sin Gaming's side, I don't even think they need to worry about it. They're just going to push up into the base, they're going to use Taliyah ults, and then they're going to be able to keep Chiefs like this, and they can just disappear into Fog of War with Kalista and absolutely shred through a Baron.
Chiefs need a miracle play to get back to this one.
Mate, they need like 4 miracle plays. They call me Chief Spawn. You're asking only for 1.
Sin still going to split up the map. So they've got Ryoma mid lane, AD carry support and jungler in the bottom lane with Dokla split pushing top side. He's 2 levels up over Swiper.
Yep. Everywhere across the board that you look, members of Sin are stronger than their counterparts on the Chiefs.
There's a knock up in the bottom lane, so Chiefs might start a fight there, whereas Raze and Swiper are on the top side. Swiper jumps in over the minefield, and Dokla just dives on in.
That's a bad move, Dokla.
Very bad. He's going to get locked down. Egypt locks him down with the box as well. Gets that kill for himself. Ryoma still trying to hunt and snipe for one.
Here we go.
Takes the wall into the base. Hook does not connect, and he barely lives, Ryoma.
Looking for the 1v3 here, Ryoma. However, now stuck in the base. That grounded just missed. Otherwise, the CC layering would have been there. See whether they go for the fight. Juves is in.
Big damage on towards Spooks. They're tanking up the turrets here. Sin get good chip damage on the inhibitor turrets, but they don't get anything else.
They're getting very antsy. Ryoma could have fallen to a hook there from Raze. Did not, Raze from Egypt. Did not have cleanse available. Doesn't have a QSS or anything like that. They should have just been content with knocking down that top lane turret, but they were not. Egypt.
Oh,
that is a solo mission.
That's a big Egypt mistake. We see it quite a lot in the OPL, and he's been caught out. Juice now going to throw the ultimate. They're looking to lock him down, though. Jarvan comes in, 1-for-1. Jungler for support. Baron is up in 20 seconds.
Yeah, it certainly is. Maybe they can catch out FBI here as well. Swiffer had summoner spells, didn't go for it. No ult available, actually, so that's smart not going for it.
It is a Cassiopeia Kog'Maw. Chiefs do Baron very fast, and a Cho'Gath.
Yeah, 100%.
They can rush
good
this.
Secure. They can rush it, but I think they die if they do. This is the Hail Mary, Fish.
Ryma's gone back to base.
Okay.
No vision on this. Chiefs do this so quickly. Now it's only been spotted out. They're going to try and collapse. Let's see if they get it.
Ryoma doesn't have wall available, I believe. Yes, it's just coming back off cooldown. I think you have to peel off.
Do they? But now they're still 50-50. They're going back on it.
Yeah. Oh, this
That's
is so
a
bad
lot of
for the
spears
team.
thrown to the Spooks. And now Ryoma, he's actually cut off Raze from this team fight. He can't access it. Swiffer's going to fall. Sorry, Swiper falls first. Now Swiffer's in trouble. Piled on. Raze has to flash away, trying to kite his heart out, but a double kill is picked up by Dokla. He'll chase down Rogue. Ejim will eventually save him, but still, they didn't do it fast enough.
Yeah, exactly right. I think that that was the incorrect call to go for. I think that they were stabilizing the game enough that they could have maybe even let that one go over and just hope they get some more items in. But they throw the Hail Mary. Looks like they're going to look for a cheeky Spooks Q over the wall. He has Warmogs, of course, so he's full health, but there's no way you steal this, so you have to back away. And the Chiefs Esports Club, they fall further behind, and Sin, they just, I mean, they're in control of the game. They've been in the driver's seat the whole time, and I don't think they're going to make another mistake of, you know, diving into the Chiefs' base. You can see what the idea is from the Chiefs, but I mean, they're still holding aggro over the Baron. Raze is kind of half health before it starts. He gets trapped on the wrong side of the wall. And then Swiffer gets absolutely blown up here. I mean, let's have a look at it. They all fly on top of him. And his feet don't touch the ground. He just takes so much damage. Raze does get a kill here. Consolation kill with his passive.
That's it. And now Sin have Baron buff, and only the base of the Chiefs to march towards. Those inhibitor turrets were bruised for the last push.
Yes, the old bruised turrets. We're back. We've come full circle on Super Week. I think that, you know, this game is a good display of how Sin Gaming want to play League of Legends. They don't want to play passive lanes. They want to play as a team and as a unit. And they want to be able to get around the map very, very quickly. They've already openly said that they will pick Dokla, the safest lane that they can get him. And if a team wants to try and beat them by playing topside, like, more power to that team. And I think that this game really shows that. They've got Renekton, very self-sufficient. And then they've got a big 4-man death squad. And Dokla's done fine, don't get me wrong. But it really is the other members of Sin that have carried this one out in a big way. Now they have to engage. The Chiefs cannot let this be pushed into their base.
Yep, they've got one last stand. Single team fight one from Sin will change this game.
Hook whiffs.
Yep, Ejim's fishing for it. But this is executed really well by Sin so far. Marching towards his base. Ejim's standing. Standing still looking for hooks.
Mid lane looks like it's about to fall down, Fish. Swiffer cannot hold the turret. You can see Talia is just absolutely pummeling him with rocks. He's 3 levels up, and that's just because you can't get any higher in levels. Swiffer is still not having access to that rank 3 ult, and it will be top lane first where it gets broken open.
Swiffer gets caught off as well, so it's a 3-on-3 bottom lane. You have to think the Sin are going to break that turret too. Chiefs don't pull the trigger anywhere. They go bottom lane, get a hook onto Rogue, and pops the ultimate. It's like, sure, you can do whatever you like. I don't care.
I mean, that is actually pretty big. Rogue shouldn't have got hooked like that. They will get the inhibitor, but now all of a sudden they can't dive that turret unless Juice goes first. Swiper and Dokla just on this side. Ooh, and another hook. This time burns a QSS.
Wall's been built by Romodo, trapping Chiefs for now. They're not going to take any damage from these rock throws. So whiffs everything. Chiefs live to fight another day, but their base is getting battered.
Yeah, I mean, they're on the Nexus, literally.
They're 13,000 gold behind.
13,000 gold down. You don't expect them to be out of the base, but the execution hasn't been all that clean from Sin, and it looks like they're going to back away and give the Chiefs another, you know, 4 minutes to farm up and try and get some items. And they're maxed out, Fish. I mean, across the board, they're going to get upgraded Last Whisper and then Merc Scimitar, so he's got another 100 AD to come and some tank shredding. Ryoma doesn't get much stronger than that. He's probably going to go towards Void Staff, potentially a Death Cap.
I mean, is this smart play from Sin?
I mean, it's conservative play, and I think they're not rushing it, and I can respect that. Chiefs certainly don't get strong within the next 10 minutes. I said they're a 35-minute team comp. I think this needs to go for more realistically like 45 minutes for it to be equalized.
Yeah, I think they need 6 items now. Or at least 5 against 6 and hope that their scaling does more.
Hope that they outplay.
But yeah, difficult. Choose is going to be able to lock down this Jarvan. He flags and drags away, so he gets back to safety. No Baron buff though, means it's easier for Chiefs to clear out these minion waves, and you can see from that.
And Kog'Maw has got 4 items. So Juves all of a sudden isn't all that scary. Dokla isn't all that scary for the Kog'Maw. Ryoma still one-shots him. That is still definitely the case. And I think that Sin are 100% still in the driver's seat to win this game, but they need to make the play to put that final nail in the coffin because they're struggling to do it right now. I think this Talia wall will be it.
Hooks on to Rogue. Pops his ultimate early. That's big.
He has to pop his ultimate. those auto attacks start hitting without an ultimate on, and he probably dies. Hook onto FBI. This is
instant
exactly
QSS.
the same thing that happened last time. 2 hooks, QSS ult gone.
He's trying, Ejim's trying his best to find a way out for Chiefs. It doesn't look like it's going to be enough, as Sin will break mid lane.
Here we go, maybe a fight.
Initiate on
Swiffer
the
is
Swiffer.
caught out and he is dead.
Oh goodness, Chain CC, can't even use the ultimate in time. That goes back off cooldown. Chiefs 4 on 5 against Sin, who pile into the base.
And Raze just can't hit anyone.
They've locked everyone down actually. Both Raze and Spooks, last 2 standing. FBI gets another kill onto the top lane tank. Rogue will eventually fall. Raze tries to kite this one out. Might delay the game a bit more, but Sin, whew.
I mean, is it going to delay the game? 2 inhibitors gone. Dokley going back to base. He has teleport available. I think this is going to be the push that pushes them over the edge. Going in on Raze.
They lock him down. He's dead. Instant kill from Roma.
One shot.
Spooks is stuck. No one's back up from the Chiefs. And Sin, they've done it. They tie up the game 1-1. We have a 16,000 gold lead, don't mind you.
I mean, both of these teams now has come onto Summoner's Rift and absolutely taken care of business on the blue side. They're going to be able to equal this one up 1-1, and Sin Gaming force a game 3. Very strange League of Legends today, Fitz.
It has been. Every single game's been very one-sided. Chiefs fumbled in that match quite hard, and Sin, they took it slow, they took it steady. Eventually they won the game. Not as quick as the Chiefs' one-sided victory, but that sends a message and puts them both on even footing going to game 3.
And it's funny because the mid laner that has been able to help out their team the most in the 2 games, Swiffer on Galio, now Ryoma on Talia, has absolutely carried for their team. Swiffer's ability to be able to, you know, get into those bottom lane ganks, you know, after the Maokai had done the early damage. And then this game, Talia, absolutely hard carry performance out of Tommy. Like, can't stress it enough. Really played phenomenally in what is a difficult one-on-one lane matchup. So I think that a lot more priority will be given to these mid lanes in the final draft.
Sorry, I got a bit distracted there because Singers came back and just absolutely roasted the crap out of our Koala, who is kicked off the stage. Very sad about that.
Koalas have feelings too, Hingers.
Goodness sake.
But
Disappointed,
yeah,
but one-sided games.
I mean, well, I was talking about mid lane, but good catch up. I'm excited to see what happens here in the last game, like what the mid lane meta evolves to, because we saw tank for Swiffer, we saw big carry now performance out of Ryoma. Like, where does it go? Do they stay with the Galio band? And if so, is it joined by a Talia? And therefore, we get the 1v1 skill matchup.
I mean, is it a blue side thing as well? Because now that's 2 games won on blue side. Chiefs will get it back heading into game number 3, but we'll find out who the victor of that is. For now, though, let's send it back to the analyst desk.
Thank you very much, Spawn and Fish. Chiefs not being able to take that second game and clear out a 2-0. Sin too strong, leveling up the series 1-all. Choo-Choos, let me start with you. I mean, what was the big difference for you between game 1 and game 2?
One, they didn't get cheesed.
Yep.
And also, this is a Sin comp. I really like this comp that Sin picked. They prepared the Alistar to counter the COG scaling with the ultimate, and also they got Tommy back on Talia. And that was a real difference in this game that you could
see how scared they were of the of that level 3 gank that Spooks did in game 1, because they ran in early into the bot side jungle, they warded Wraiths and they warded the red, and they were spam pinging it the whole time before they spawned. So they were very aware of what might happen, and they definitely didn't want it to happen. I will say that was a good game by Sin. Seems like blue side is the better side in this matchup. I will, however, heavily disagree with Spawn on his last point.
You've taken notes?
Hard to disagree on who's actually carrying these games. I think that in both games, bot lane has been the carry, and mid lane has the opponent mid laner has suffered as a result. So what I mean by that is in that game, we saw an extremely greedy, dare I say, arrogant Kog'Maw pick. It wasn't blind, was it? I think it was into Kalista.
It was third picked.
Yeah, it was third pick. So it was counter picked into Kalista Alley, which, as far as I know, is horrible. And I think we saw that. I thought early in the lane, Kog got pushed out.
They executed some good dives on bot.
But as a result of the Chief bot lane having no pressure, I think Juve's ganked, right, early. I believe that's what happened. Yeah. Anyway, the point is that their bot lane fell behind. Okay, fantastic. We're going to have the replay in a moment. So here we have, this was later on in the game, but you can see how low the tower is already. The tower had taken so much chip that they could just take the tower while they were diving. Now this ends up being a 2-for-2 just because of some nice macro out of Chiefs and some pretty poor macro from Rogue, who both saved Kog'Maw in the last dive and there almost killed his teammates with a headbutt. But the bot lane was under so much pressure that game that Spooks lost his blue, his second blue, which is the first blue for the mid laner. Cassio didn't get that blue. Talia got that blue instead, and she got a kill from the bot lane in the very first dive, not that one. And then Talia also got her own blue. So Talia had blue for about 3 minutes, and Cassio didn't. And Cassio is a champion that excels with having blue buff. So I think that the bot lane pressure, which started with, I think, the Kog'Maw pick, happened got punished during the game with a good 2v2 lane phase out of FBI and Rogue, as well as a gank from Juves, and then a dive from Talia, and then another dive there, resulted in SwiftHub having so much pressure put on him. He was looking for a solo kill. He ends up getting ganked by Maokai and Renekton in the mid lane, and then dies as well, and then it just looked absolutely horrible from then on.
Yeah, I mean, Tommy's Talia, like I completely agree that it wasn't necessarily the carry, but it did facilitate what Sin
he
were aiming
absolutely
to
popped
do.
off. I'm not going to say he didn't because he went like. He
also,
was
to know that in that
huge, but-
replay, I don't know how well Sin timed TPs, but Swiper was 4 seconds delayed with his TP because it was just ticking off cooldown.
4 seconds behind. And
But
that was a huge difference.
if Dockler had gone earlier on the TP, if they'd pushed that play earlier, then and they'd kept Swiper out of that team fight for longer.
I mean, it would have been very different.
Very
Probably would
different
have been a lot more one-sided.
Yeah.
But that being said, you know, like setting up dives like that, you need the waves in the right spot, and you need items, and
So
you know, it takes a
maybe
bit of setting
not
up.
that's
So
The thing is that I do want to, like Rogue, like Sin's bot lane did. I would agree. Like they did, they were the winning area of this game.
Yep.
But there is a team fight in Baron where you can really see how good this Talia pick serves Sin. This is where Chiefs are doing Baron. They pull off trying to turn.
they
and you
just
can
made
see,
a pick before this as well.
yes, and you can see that Talia walls off the Kog'Maw, and Raze opts not to flash over this wall to help his team, but essentially this is a 3v4. And Sin completely washed Chiefs. This is probably the biggest turning point because it got them their first Baron. And from that team fight on, you could really see how this Talia pick helps how oppressive Sin can be.
I will say, though, in that team fight, just to defend Raze a little bit, that his W was down. It was on cooldown. And so flashing forwards over the wall would have just been normal auto attacks. So it wouldn't actually have turned the fight at all.
Regardless, it was a good wall, and it was a
very good
3v4.
wall. I will, yes, it was a very good wall.
That wall, I mean, you've played a lot of Talia. That wall that that Ryoma throws out, then he has vision of Raze backing off from the fight, right? Or is he predicting?
He's not thinking about that.
I think he's actually just trying to keep them all in. And it just so happens that
That's
Raze,
what I'm
like,
thinking.
Right, so
Raze
he's
was
trying
running
to
away.
pin everyone in. He's not trying to separate out Raze.
No. Raze just kind of separated himself because he didn't want to die.
Yeah.
Talia, from Sin's comms, would have been like, these guys are tanking Baron, they're getting low. Talia had 3 levels over everyone else in the game, and she's just like, I'm coming, boys, I'm gonna clean them up. And it just so happened that Raze
It really comes down to if Chiefs can make a split-second decision of, we're going to team fight, like everyone run forward.
Yeah.
It's just a pity that...
And their comp also wasn't very good at that. Like, they had the Cho'Gath and Jarvan, and really, Jarvan has to initiate, Cho'Gath has to follow up. But I think what happened was Cho'Gath tried to go first. And so it's maybe,
I mean, I think they traded Thresh going into that fight. I believe they traded Thresh for Juves, so they were up. I think they were up a jungler. Yeah, at that point.
Yes,
they were.
Yes,
So
there
that's
was
why
no
they went. That's why they went to Baron at that point.
And
Yes.
also they had
And
That was a
Cascog.
good call, I think.
They had Cascog.
Cassio Callista, they think, right, we can burn this down.
And Talia had to base because she was low.
Yeah.
So I think it was a good call, but they just didn't have the damage to do it quick enough. Then they got collapsed on. I don't think that they could have played that team fight that much better. Of course, you can always play a little bit better, but I don't think they could have played it well enough that they would have won.
Well, let's talk about the draft then, because I know we kind of talked about it at the start, but I do want to now that we've seen some of the plays and how the fights actually played out. I do want to talk about this draft because you said, look, it was a greedy. I think you said, dare I say, arrogant Kog'Maw pick.
Okay, I do want to say arrogant is a bit too. I didn't mean to.
So yeah. But
you know what I mean.
if you're picking, are you saying don't pick Kog'Maw into Callista, or don't pick Kog'Maw when you're picking Thresh and you're not picking a tankier support?
Thresh was fine. Thresh into Ali is a decent lane as well because I think you can flay the headbutt.
Yeah, you can.
And also you have a range versus melee advantage. So Thresh into Ali is generally a good lane, but it's just the combo of Callista and Alistar.
Yeah.
Cog
could see in the mid lane as well.
only has flash. Alistar has his combo. He has flash combo. He has Callista ult into flash. Like Alistar can cover a lot of distance, a lot of ground, and Kog'Maw can't do that. So
here's my question then, right? If you're Jish or the Chiefs, right? Yesterday, Raze played 2 games of Xayah, Destructo Max killed everybody, doing real good stuff, right?
Yep.
Then today they come into this matchup. He's played one game of Cogmore, so you've already shown your hand as a Cogmore, right? You've
Yeah.
already shown the Cogmore comp. If they've picked Maokai, Kalista, Alistar, right? You go Thresh, Cho'Gath. Is Xayah a better pick then into Alistar?
Yeah,
Probably.
I would say almost certainly.
Yeah.
I mean,
Because
not as much damage as Cogmore, but at least he doesn't die.
The reason you might not want to is because you don't want to show your hand, right? But you've already done it in game one. So
Well,
I,
it's just the sides, I think. Like,
Yeah.
it's the
Blue
fact that
side.
they had
They're
the
back-
counter pick.
yeah.
Right.
So they'd
Yeah.
already seen what they were going to play, and then they decided to play Cog into it. I think, I just think that was,
They're back on blue side now.
for them to pull it off, Raze would have had to have played incredibly well.
which
And
he's capable of doing.
Which he absolutely is capable of doing. I think he's a fantastic player, but that matchup is just, it's not that there's no counterplay, but it's just so hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're back on blue side. I don't think they'll be given Cog. Sin will definitely have changed their draft. Trying not. I don't know if they'll ban the Galio or if they'll ban the Lulu even. But
It's a lot of damage still.
that is a lot of damage. Cog did a lot of work. Oh my god, Casio also didn't do that much damage. You can.
But Casio
Yeah,
was getting
but
bullied.
like
Casio was getting
I think
just
the important part, the
Yeah.
important part to keep in mind is the reason Casio was getting bullied was
the Kalista
because
alley.
Cogmore Cogmore had to scale, and the pressure wasn't on the Cog because they were just letting him farm in the side lane. The pressure got moved from Cog to mid, and then Swiftfire got punished really hard for that.
And you go back to what you were saying with the distance that Alistar Kalista is able to cover.
Yes, they did
when
that. That was a
catch
very
out-
nice gank
When
in
they
mid lane.
did, yeah, when they did catch out Casio, it did involve
It was like the full.
yeah,
it
about
was like
about
one
the
side of the lane
size
to
of
the
your
other.
screen.
Like
yeah,
it
it was
was.
about the size of your screen. And Swiffer, you could just see died 2-3 times with his both summoners up.
Yeah.
And he couldn't do much. Not
There's
much.
also
Once you
that
get
time he
hit,
tried to-
you can't get out.
Yeah.
But he could have flashed very early.
Well, there was that time he tried to 1v1 Ryoma, who was a couple of levels up and still had
Oh,
I
yeah,
think
that
Swiffer
was-
still had heal up. And
Yeah.
then, you know,
Yeah.
I
He
felt
was
like he was
playing-
being aggro then. He's just like, yeah, I'm annoyed now. I'm just going to go in.
Yeah, I felt like
I'm going to
Maybe-
kill you.
I'm not going to comment on his psyche.
Sure.
I don't
I'm
know.
guessing. I'm absolutely
Yeah, I don't know
guessing
what he's
here.
thinking, but it looked like one of those ones where it's just like I need to kill this guy. Like I need
Get that
for me
shutdown.
like for me personally,
have-
I need that shut.
you have-
Yeah,
you have-
I
I
need.
need
yeah.
this.
I don't need it.
All right,
I don't
let's talk,
need it.
Let's talk about, because we've spoken about it before, now we're going to get some stats up on the board. I want to talk about bot lane, in particular, FBI into Raze for that game. And FBI, farming a lot.
Yeah.
He's doing that Richard Sue CS per
Yeah,
minute.
yeah, he is. Yeah, a lot of farm. I think FBI played quite well. But I think the big thing here is the support matchup, and not in the way that they're playing, but the champion matchup.
Sure.
Right. I think it's the bot lane matchup that matters the most, because when we saw in game one, we saw Cog Lulu versus the Trundle. What was it? Xayah?
Yep.
Yeah. That is a winning lane. That's a hard winning lane for the Chiefs. And when they had the hard winning lane, they carried the game. They absolutely punished Sin. In the next game, we have the same thing where Rogue and FBI have a really good matchup in the bot lane. Absolutely punish the Chiefs. And so I think in this next game, both coaches hopefully have realized that bot is the most important lane in this game, and I'm expecting to see some very interesting picks and bans around the matchups.
Yeah, I want to. I'm trying to think of what the mid laners are going to pick now. I don't think Swift will be allowed Galio anymore. I think this will be a control mage matchup.
So
Okay.
so
you think
what
Galio?
are
They're
you
going to get
guessing?
rid of the Galio?
Yep,
Yeah.
I think they'll get rid of the Galio.
So you think Sin bans the Galio, right? Like they did in game 2. They carry that ban across, and then Swiffer goes to what? Orianna, something like that.
Syndra, Orianna, Corki, Victor, like there's a lot of things open. Like they've had a lot of options,
Yeah.
but I want to try and relate that to the support picks because I think like this Alistar had so much success. They may consider playing the Kalista Alley again, regardless of it versing Cogmore, but just how
Yeah.
impactful it was to nullify Swiffer and to really push that advantage because he did have a counter matchup. He did play Cass into the Talia,
Yeah.
but there was so much pressure being exerted onto Swiffer that he was never actually able to make that 1v1.
I mean, you could see him like fishing for that flash ult a number of times in the mid lane, and he just never could commit because I think he didn't have very good vision around his lane.
I mean, this could be a stretch, but I feel like when Rogue was coming up, people did refer to him as EGM Light, right? That was a thing that was on Twitter, very publicly, right? So
Yeah.
he comes in now. He's in this game. They've beaten them in the gauntlet. This is the narrative I'm pushing now, right? He's like, I'm picking Alistar. I'm the new Alistar right now. EGM,
Rogue
pack your
Alley
bags.
God.
I'm on the carousel. Go home, mate.
Yeah, fun fact about Ejim is that actually after he started calling EGM Ali God, he didn't want to play Ali anymore because he thought the expectation was too high. He didn't want to let people down. Look, I think Rogue...
That's my specialty, by the way.
Letting people down?
Absolutely.
Or, yeah, okay.
Yeah, going hard, letting people down.
Yeah. No, look, I think Rogue had a good game.
Yeah.
Well, I think he warmed up into it. When I saw him headbutt that Cogmore to safety, I thought, oh, how much Ali has Rogue played?
Yeah.
Then he headbutted Cassiopeia into his backline, and I thought, how much Ali has Rogue played?
Yeah.
But I thought after that, from then on, I thought it was pretty clean.
Rogue's strength has always been engaging. Like his Rakan performances have always been like instant engaging and setting up his team. That's the similar thing that I would see with Alistar. So not necessarily headbutting a Cassio into your team, but more starting the team fight.
Yeah. All right. Let me just before we were about to get into games. So let me get your quick predictions before we get into this. Do either of you want to switch from what you initially predicted? Choose.
I said Chiefs 2-1.
Yep.
You wouldn't do it.
Stage?
Nah, I wouldn't do it.
No,
All
you
right.
wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it
Carvin?
either.
Nah,
2-1.
All right. Well, we're sticking with our predictions here at the desk. There will be no flip-flopping here. It is time for us to get into our third and deciding game in this match. But first, let's take a look at some highlights from game number 2.
Flash and heal away. They get some good trades onto Egypt. That's a flash for FBI. Gets first blood. Heal will keep him alive as well. But Egypt jumps forward for the auto attack to get that return. There's the Maokai ultimate. Teleports are coming in for both top laners. Egypt's going to flash away first. Ryoma now builds a wall, but it's nowhere close. That turret is going to fall. Egypt gets played back. Dude, Chief stand and fight. He can't get into the fight. Good wall built. Egypt's the first one to fall. Chiefs still want to go for the fight, but Ray's already being locked down. He's moving forward. There's a big crocodile on him, but look at Swiffer trying to get to the back line. Will flash out. Still going to die here. Dokla goes huge. Silenced by Spooks. Eventually falls. Great damage coming out from the Trees front lane. They trade 2 for 2. Whoa, Swiffer being very aggressive there. Lands the poison, gets the Twin Fangs, but Roma just outplays him. Swiper jumps in over the minefield, and Dokla just dives on in. Very bad. He's going to get locked down. Egypt locks him down with the box as well. Gets that kill for himself. Then now Roma, he's actually cut off Raze from this team fight. He can't access it. Swiffer's going to fall. Sorry, Swiper falls first. Now Swiffer's in trouble. Piled on. Raze has to flash away, trying to kite his heart out, but a double kill is picked up by Dokla. They lock him down. He's dead. Instant kill from Roma.
One shot.
Spooks is stuck. No one's back up for the Chiefs. And Sin, they've done it. They tie up the game 1-1. With a 16,000 gold lead, don't mind you.
I mean, both of these teams now has come onto Summoner's Rift and absolutely taking care of business on the blue side. They're going to be able to equal this one up 1-1, and Sin Gaming force a game 3